proposed class action lawsuit of the Orange and Rockland Electric Company. Hey everybody, it's Joe from the Crazy New York Driver Show. How you all doing? That's me. Sub me on YouTube, Crazy New York Driver, for more updates. Let's get started. As many of you know, last Saturday, October 29th, we were hit with a major nor'easter extremely early in the year. It's unprecedented. What this means is the heavy snow gathered on leaves and trees, causing the limbs to snap and in cases trees to fall. This brought down power lines over the entire area, rendering the entire area powerless for up to 1 full week, which is totally inexcusable. I will go over the entire timeline and I'll put it all up for discussion. As I said, this video you're looking at right now, I shot in front of my house at approximately 4 o'clock, 4:30 last Saturday, October 29th, during the height of the storm. On the left of the screen, you can see a PSE&G van blocking my street because the line was down. But the only problem is, we don't have PSE&G here. We have Rockland Electric. I'll come back to them in a second. During the height of the storm, many roads were closed because, of course, trees and power lines were down and everybody was lost. Nobody knew where the heck they were going. The next day was Sunday morning. I got up Sunday morning and I decided to walk around my area and take some pictures of the damage. Now, I fully expected Rockland Electric to be out there assessing the damage, and as well PSE&G. But of course, that was not the case. The pictures you're looking at now are all from my area, my house especially. You can see how my service was ripped right out of its mooring. These pictures were shot Sunday morning. While I was shooting these pictures, the police were out assessing the damage and taking reports and noting where there were wires down. Now, the wire from my house to the pole was pulled down. So when the police came by, I made sure he noted on the pole number, and he told me that they were going to be calling Rockland shortly, and that Rockland would be there in 2 to 3 days. They did, in fact, notify Rockland. So what was Rockland's response, you want to know? You think they came right out and did repairs? No way. At 11 o'clock at night on Sunday night, a van pulled up to my house and disconnected the service from my house to the pole, rendering me totally impotent of electricity. I flew out the door and I said to them, no, I says, don't take it down. Put it back up. What are you doing? They said, nope, we're taking it down for safety's sake. We'll have a crew later in the week by Wednesday. I said, no, you won't. I said, I know what's going to happen. You guys ain't going to come, and if you do come and restore service, you're going to leave me impotent and cut off from the mother load. I'm not going to have connection. They were not to be deterred. They took my wire down and they left. Okay, so what do? I know exactly I got a serious problem. So the next day, Monday morning, I call an electrician to come and rehang my service and get it restored. I go to the town hall, get my permits, have all the paperwork filled out, run back, hang up my permits. All right, the electrician finishes the job later Monday, go back to the town hall, make an appointment to have the electrical inspector come Tuesday. He shows up, just like he says he was, checks the service, everything's great, he approves it, faxes the cut-in card to Rockland Electric, which means they're supposed to dispatch a crew and reconnect my service, and everyone's service for that matter. They did nothing. Okay? That was Tuesday. Wednesday, 4 p.m., I call Rockland Electric Company from my job, and I tell them that we have no power here. The representative tells me that he says a crew will be in the area Friday. I said, well, wait a minute. What about the service from my house to the pole? And the man had no idea that my wire was down. For Christ's sake. He said, hold on while I check with records. He calls down to records and he finds out that my paperwork has been submitted. Everybody did their job. Now it's up to them. He says, we'll have a crew there over the weekend. I said, no, you're not. I don't want it over the weekend. I said, if they come here and they restore power, I want my stuff restored at the same time. He goes, I can't make any promises. All right. That was late Wednesday. All right. Thursday, I go to work, come home Thursday night. It's freaking freezing, as I knew it would be. Luckily, I planned ahead. I had a bad feeling something was going to happen. So what I did was I had gone to Home Depot and bought some supplies. I bought 2 big pieces of plywood, which I fashioned together with a metal piece. I bought stencils, I bought paint, and I made a sign, a huge sign for the front of my house. It said, Rockland, Orange and Rockland Electric Company. No power for 6 days. Help! Friday morning at 8 o'clock when I was leaving for work, I put the sign out. As I was putting it out, several neighbors drove by that were also still out of power, and they loved it. They congratulated me. They thanked me. All right. And I took off for work. I stopped home for lunch at about 12 o'clock just to check on things to see if there were any crews in the area, which there weren't. So I called back to my job, and I told them I was going to take some time off to try and assess the situation. So I started cleaning limbs in my front yard, and people, local residents, random people, were driving up, congratulating me on the sign, taking pictures, saying it's about time somebody stepped up and did something. I mean, everybody was stopping by. Even the police department stopped by to tell me that Rockland said they would come today and they were going to really get on their case and do something. The mayor himself even pulled up and told me that, yes, Rockland was in the area and that they were going to, schedule service later in the day. And I kept reminding these guys, I said, that's great. I said, remember, the service to the pole has to be connected to the house. Or when the service goes up, I'm still in the dark. So I called back to my job. I said, don't expect me in until I finish this. I'm going to make sure this is resolved today. So an hour or 2 later, who shows up? Not Rockland Electric per se, but some independent electrical companies from down south, like Texas and Maryland, who were contracted by Rockland to come up here and do the repair. Now, I have no problem with that. We need the guys. We need the workers. Why the hell can't Rockland do anything themselves is what I would really like to know. Nonetheless, the guy showed up. I flew out, and I saw the foreman, and I explained to him that I have no service. I want him to see. And I physically would not leave the scene. I said, I'm staying here till this is hooked up. And he assured me that he would take care of it himself and that he would not leave the area, him and his crew, until my house was hooked up, along with all the rest, and we all had power back. So he comes back with his pickup truck, followed by 2 bucket trucks. Both of them were from down south, Texas and Michigan, respectively, in Maryland. So they showed up, real nice guys, and I was talking to them. And they were telling me how some residents were mean to them. And I explained, I said, well, the people are really upset a week without power. Although you guys are not the bad guys in this. You guys are the good guys. The bad guys are Rockland Electric. They kept us in the dark, literally. I'm telling you guys, if you live in my area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We went through this last year for 5 days with no power. This year was 6 days with no power, and it's not going to happen again. I propose a class action lawsuit. Please leave your comments below. If there's any lawyers out there who wish to take the case, that would be great. You could take the case, and whatever the fees recouped, you could take your cut right off the top and disperse the settlement among the homeowners in the area. We lost food. A lot of people stayed at hotels. Some people went with friends and stayed over with friends. Myself, I stayed home every night in the freezing cold because I worked not too far from the area and I had to be in the area. So, again, here's the deal. Comments below. I want to hear your particular stories. If you want to contact me, you can contact me personally. My YouTube is Crazy New York Driver, CrazeNYDriver. You can sub me. Most of my videos are about eBay and New York City, but this one is a little different than the rest because it's really an important situation. I wanted to address it. I want to thank you for watching. You guys who I know personally, I'll see you whenever around town. And let's hope this never happens again. Our elected officials sometimes need to be goosed a little so that they stay on top of things. I'm not blaming them per se, but I am saying Rockland is definitely to blame. We got to do something. We can't let it go by again. We were very pacifistic last year when we lost it for 5 days. Let's not make that mistake again. All right? Remember, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching. Comments below. Let's hope I never have to make another video like this. Take it easy. Bye.